Hey, it's SJ here again in tutorial 7, and we're going to be going over the text tool and creating leader lines within Photoshop. Typically, I'd say people don't really use Photoshop for labeling, but if you need to, this is how I would go about doing it. So I've got our cranial base set up. So because we have the different colors that label the bones of the cranial base, I'm going to create a legend using the path tool that shows the various bones in association with which color. So next we'll start incorporating the text by using the text tool. So all I have to do is click this T or push T, drag it out here, and I can just click and drag and it'll start making a text box. Now you'll see that I can't see any of the text. And that is because my text box isn't big enough for the actual size of the text, which is 45. So I'm just going to hit Command A. And now you'll see that the font size has decreased. So that's a little trick if you can't see the text, rather than having to resize the text box really large and then resizing it from there. And I'm just going to make this a bit of a darker color. You can see it. And something that I like to do so that just all my fonts are consistent is just really quickly I hit the V key and then I hold Option, and this is how you just duplicate really quickly. Click and drag. And I'll grab all of these layers and just line them up. And so now I can go back in, hit the T key, and then just change them to the actual labels. Great, and so there we have our legend. We can just easily move it around our page. So we're now going to focus on creating some leader lines, and you might think that it would be easy enough to just go into your paths, create a new path, grab your pen tool, create a straight line, and then use your outline. However, the problem is if you want really crisp lines without the rounded end, that's not going to be possible unless you go back in and you have to erase. So it might just be easier to actually grab a rectangle and you can make it precisely the thickness you want and use your fill. And this way we can also attach our ellipse. And this is great because now using the same tactic, I can just simply V and then duplicate this wherever I need it. So once I've got all of my leader lines, say they're all in the correct place that I need them, I could throw them into a group, and just like we did before, using a layer style, I'm going to make sure that they stand out a bit more. So that looks good, and now wherever I move these to, it will make sure to stand out against any sort of dark colors. It'll always be visible. So from here, I would just go back, put these into a new folder, and add a text layer. And I would just continue doing that for the rest of the image, making sure that the leader lines are lined up to the proper place, and then adding the text. I would also probably add, just so that it was a bit cleaner, I would add a layer mask so that all of my leader lines ended at the same spot. So that's how you would get leader lines in Photoshop and using the text tool to help you with labeling. Hope you found that helpful. Again, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. And in the next video, I'm just going to go over just some quick exporting tips, as well as just some general information about the industry. So tune in next time. Thanks so much. For more tips and tricks, and to connect with the Biocomm Hive community, please check out the Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to follow Create to Learn on Instagram and hashtag Create to Learn for more tutorials.